Cheers everybody, welcome back to another beer review, and in this one we are off to Grimsby. We have got a beer from a microbrewery sent to me by my great mate Matthew Barker. Cheers mate for sending me this, and it is a Christmas stout from a brewery called Crafty One. Super smashing great, there you go. This is clocking in at 13.7% ABV. And it's nice to see there's about 252 bottles of this produced, and this is bottle number 217, and it says this beer will age for up to 10 years. I'm into beer aging and that, but I'll tell you what, when you go into a shop and you buy a beer and they say, oh, you can keep it for 10 years, you got to have a very kind of like strong character in yourself not to crack the bugger open within 10 years. I couldn't do it. I've got some beers on the go at the moment, but I'll tell you what, when the time gets hard, times get hard and that through this COVID, or if you run out of beer or whatever, you're going to look at them and think, I fancy a beer, better crack this one open. I thought I was going to keep this beer for about another 5 years, then crack it open. It never happens, does it? So let's crack this one open anyway. There we go. Plain gold crown. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really good. Really good. And it's a lovely smell. It's a lovely antique type of smell to this. Antique wood type of smell. Now, he sent me a list, Matthew, of the beers from Crafty One. And I think this is barrel aged, because I tried to look it up on the internet and I couldn't find it. But I'll tell you what, it smells aged. I reckon it is aged. And it smells really, really nice. Really nice. So let's pour this one out. Like I say, there's plenty of people out there brewing beer. And sometimes, I wasn't expecting a head out of this, by the way, being the strength of it. And sometimes, there's certain breweries or brewers or whatever, they kind of like get overlooked, okay? And sometimes there's a lot of hard work what goes into brewing these beers, and these people deserve the respect of, say, a commercial brewer who's churning out stuff every week, and it's not necessarily great. They'll either put the emphasis on their marketing or their reputation being, the only, famous brewer in that area, and I think it's wrong. I think there is plenty of people out there producing great beer, and they do not get the opportunities what these big brewers get. But there's usually, 9 times out of 10, there's more integrity to beers like this than what you would get in a bigger brewery. Anyway, I've had a little waffle on, like I do. So as you can see, I wasn't expecting a head out of it at all, being the strength it is. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, a bit of chocolate coming out now. Definitely. You do get the sense of the strength of the beer. There's a sweet alcohol element in the aroma for me, and a bit of currants and raisins as well thrown into the mix, but it smells really, really pleasant, I have to say. So I'm going to go in. So cheers everybody. Cheers. That is lovely. That is absolutely lovely. What am I getting out of this? Lovely sweetness, first off. And it feels a mash-up between a Christmas cake and a Christmas pudding. You know, whacked together. It does. It's got the lovely, lovely, smooth feel in the mouth. Not so much on the spiciness for me. You get a very cakey feel to the beer. And you do pick up an aged feel to the beer. It's 13.7% this. And for me, you're not you're not picking up the strength really. Sweet, rich, smooth. It is cracking. Absolutely cracking. And what I like, and there's another thing I really, really like about doing beers like this, fact is, yeah, they put it on the label. They've got like Christmas Stout 2020. That's all you really want to know. They're telling you where it was brewed, fantastic. They're telling you how many bottles, and also telling you the strength. That's all you need to know on a beer label. Okay? Sometimes you get cans and labels which are extravagant, you know? Extravagant to the point where you're getting sucked in when you walk into a shop. That's what they're supposed to do, aren't they? But it is so nice to get a beer which doesn't portray itself as much. Let's face it, it doesn't, looking at that label. But when you have it, it is absolutely fantastic. It really is. Again. That is really, really good. Really, really good. And what I like, it brings all the emphasis down to the brewing, down to the brewer, down to the guy who's doing the hard work, down to the guy who's putting in the hours, producing stuff like this for you guys to consume. And, you know, you can polish a turd all you want, but at the end of the day, the beer is what speaks, nothing else. And I have to say, this Christmas Stout from Crafty One is an absolute blinder of a beer. Absolute blinder of a beer. And, you know, a lot of brewers, you know, deserve breaks. They deserve to get recognition for great beer. And sometimes it doesn't necessarily happen. And sometimes, for me, it really, really boils. It does bore me. It does. Because you look at the likes of Brewdog churning out any old crap. And you look at the likes of, you know, the small guy in a small brewery doing great beer who doesn't get a good shout out. But in this case, boys and girls, I say to you out there to check this lot out. This stout is stunning. It is fantastic. It's beautiful stuff. Divine, luxurious, indulgent. And for that, you can't go wrong. So, have a great Christmas. But I'll tell you what, boys and girls, in the new year, make it a New Year's resolution to get beers from Crafty One, because they are fantastic. Thank you very much for watching this beer review. As ever, please subscribe, put them in the comments. Get some beers from Crafty One, because it's fantastic stuff. See you on my next one.